The Old Guard, new action film available on Netflix, starring Charlize Theron. It is based on a comic book, and the story follows a group of four covert mercenaries who, as it quickly turns out, are actually immortal. Or rather, their wounds heal so fast that even when they're killed, they do come back a minute later. They also don't age, obviously, and so they have managed to live for centuries, taking place in various wars and conflicts around the world that they felt needed them for whatever reason. At the beginning of the film, which takes place in the modern day, they take a mission for someone they worked with before, and that turns out to be a setup. They're exposed for who they really are, and a CEO of a big pharma company begins to hunt them down in order to use their DNA to find cures for all diseases. The group is on the run, and they want to get rid of the CEO and any trace of their true identities so that they can go back into hiding. But at the same time, a new immortal awakens. A young female US soldier killed in Afghanistan comes back to life. Someone will need to explain to her what is going on and teach her the ropes, and you know where this is going. So, to be honest, while the concept of the film is extremely simple, I thought it was pretty fucking cool. I mean, there's so much stuff you can do with a bunch of non-aging immortal warriors. The flashbacks to all the wars that they fought would alone be pretty sweet, I think. There's a reason that the one and only scene that people seem to remember these days from Wolverine Origins is that intro montage of exactly that, of two guys who don't age fighting across many different wars across the 20th century. So in light of this infinite potential, seemingly, I have to say that I'm very, very disappointed with the end result. The film doesn't feel inventive or even creative with the concept. It's very safe and predictable with what it's going to do. But the worst thing is that for an action film, there's just not a lot of action. There are honestly 3 action sequences in the entire film, and they're not spectacular enough to carry the weight of a 2-hour movie. I think The Old Guard is half an hour too long and has these stretches of time where nothing happens. Characters just sit around and talk at one another. And that's honestly unforgivable to make an action film that is so plain boring. This story, as I said, is rather rudimentary up to a point when there is a plot twist, which makes absolutely zero sense. I also really hated the fact that the only thing the ending did was blatantly set up a sequel. There's absolutely no feeling of closure, of finality. I think the film doesn't look remarkable. The pop songs used on the soundtrack are annoying and invasive more than anything. If I had to find something good about it, I would say Charlize Theron is charismatic as always, but that's not nearly enough, and the film ends up being this half-cooked slog. Do not recommend.